What's going on, Trigger TV? Welcome back. Like I said, coming right back. I take a minute. Coming right back. We are live again, you guys, with Harmony Montgomery Part 2. All right. This is going to be Kayla's version, all right, of Part 2. This is her testifying against Adam Montgomery and the weapons charges. So we are about to get into this, you guys. But before we do, you already know this stream is never ever for kids. So go ahead and get them lovely beauties out the room, away from where you're at, because this is not a story for them. This is a story for all adults. So let's go ahead and get it cracking real quick. Let's get that intro cracking real quick. Let's get it cracking. Let's get a few more people in the room. And let's start that intro up one more time. I like it. I like it. I like it. On my face just crashing in this bitch. Yeah. Go ahead and get that intro up, and then let's get up some disclaimers real quick, okay? But we are definitely going to talk about Kayla Montgomery, which is the estranged wife of Adam Montgomery, which is Harmony Montgomery, the 5-year-old that was murdered, and taken. Her life was taken on December 7th, 2019. And we're going to talk about that and her being missing and her birth mother reporting her missing. So we are definitely going to get into that real quick. But before we do, I am going to go ahead and drop some disclaimers. You guys know how we do it. All this is for educational purposes. So please understand that. We are definitely here to teach, learn, and learn a little bit about these cases and really uncover the ones that are not being told. Like, I think it's important. So let's go ahead and get into these disclaimers, and let's go ahead and get them out the way. Okay. I like to get them out the way. I don't want to hold you too long. Okay. You guys already know this is fair use. Again, get them lovely babies out of here. This video is not for kids. I'm telling you, there's a content warning right here and a trigger warning for this one right here, too. Okay? This video contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. So if you're sensitive, to murders, or if you're sensitive to, adults taking their kids' life, this may not be the stream for you today. Okay? Also, in addition to that, understand that this is a copyright disclaimer. Okay? Like I said, is for purposes of teaching, news reporting, scholarship research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright. So understand that, and you know how Trig is coming all the time, baby, baby. Bringing one heart, one mind, one soul together, one day at a time, providing love and support to victims of violent crimes and family members grieving their loved ones due to their stories being untold. Okay? People are not telling them. People saying, where'd you get that story from? And also to bring back a sense of humanity to help all communities involved in any way possible to end the violence. Okay? That is what we are here for. That is how we coming. I promise you, we coming hard in the paint no matter what. 2024 is our year, okay? We're making it our year. We've already claimed it. We claimed it in September, and we're claiming it now, okay? So let's go ahead and get on with the story. I definitely want to share it with you. You guys, I want to get you updated on the story. A lot of people don't know the story. It happened back in 2019 where she came up missing, like I told you earlier. And the mother called in 2021 after that last FaceTime, and they started looking for Adam, which was the father. Okay. Couldn't find him. He was sleeping out of his car. A lot of things took place. But what we're going to see today is Kayla, who was married to him at the time, testify against him. Kayla is now being held in jail, okay, on a perjury charge because she lied to the police and told the police that she was not there when baby Harmony was murdered. But she was. She said she was at work. When they verified her job and her being at work on December 7th, 2019, they advised the police that Kayla had already been terminated. So she was there. Kayla was the one that I told you that said, I think we actually killed her this time. Okay? So the only thing they can get her on right now is perjury. But trust and believe me, there are going to be some other charges coming up for Kayla. That's the only thing they can hold her on. I am mortified. You guys heard this morning from the mother and her point of view and what's going on and how she had no control. They just didn't believe her, because she was an addict before, you know, and she lost custody because they they gave custody to Adam because she was in another courtroom trying to deal with some custody issues on her other kids. So that's how she lost it. And look at Mary Harmony lost her life because they didn't even follow up. And this man was living outside of his out of his car with Kayla, the baby, like, and the girl peed on herself and he beat her to death. Blunt force trauma. strikes to the face of the head, all that stuff. And Kayla was right there and did absolutely nothing. But now she's testifying for the prosecution and only being charged right now with perjury. Let's get into it. Let me not hold you no more. Let's go. Let's get into it. Smash the like button if you're in here. Make sure you smash the like button and turn on notifications every time so you know when Trey is dropping a video. Okay? Let's get into this real quick though. Because I want to update you because we are going to the trial next month. And we are definitely going to be we're going to be following this trial. And I want to keep you guys peeled and watch so you guys can see what's going on and get you caught up because a lot of people don't know about this. Happened in 2019 and all the fucking rawness came out in 2021. And now it's raw because Adam still won't tell where the body is. So you have a deceased 5-year-old with no body and he knows he did it. Unbelievable, right? Here's the ex. Well, she's divorcing him and I think they already are divorced. Here's the ex, Kayla Montgomery, who is temporarily married to him, who is going through a divorce. Now, I don't know if their divorce has been final or not, but she's testifying now against him for the prosecution. And she's been locked up for perjury for lying about being at work and not being present during the murder. She deserves way more than that. Let's go. Piss me off. Let's go. Put a trigger warning in the chat for her testimony, please. Any mom that child, she should be held responsible too. I'm about to mute up so you guys can hear. Are you sure this thing is as loud as it goes? That's their end. Come check over here. Let's take a look here. I can't hear. Hold on. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's get that sound under control. Look at her face. That's Kayla Montgomery, the stepmom. What's going on, yeah? Welcome back, you guys. Sorry, I had to go jump in my shower, take my night.
Okay, Kayla, can you please state and spell your first and last name for the jury?
My name's Kayla Montgomery. Kayla.
What's up, Big K? Welcome back. Love you, Mom.
Montgomery.
Love you guys.
Okay, and how old are you,
Thanks for
Kayla?
being here.
32.
Where do you currently reside?
Hold on real quick.
The state prison for women.
One thing real quick before we start this. Yeah, you reside in the state prison for women. You right. You reside there. That's your permanent address-ish. And you're staying there. And I hope they hit you with a second-degree murder charge because you were there when that baby was murdered by Adam Montgomery. And you know where the body is. So that is where you stay. I hope you live there for the rest of your life. But one thing I was going to say before I pause the stream was thank you so much to my moms for showing up and always being so supportive. Shout out to you guys. I just want to express love and respect for you guys. You guys have been definitely rocking with Trig until the wheels fall off. Yeah, and Big J. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys' support. You guys are definitely going with me on this crime journey, and I appreciate you guys being so supportive and so amazing. Just behind the scenes and even in the scenes, just your characters are flawless. So I just wanted to thank you both, my kings and queens, for being here and let you know how much I appreciate you both. All right, let's get the stream going. Let's get it cracking. This is Trig. Trig must be on one today. Trig is full time back. All right, I'm back. If you want to support the stream, make sure you do. Okay, because I am back. This is 3 times in one day. You guys know you don't get Trig 3 times in one day. Okay, that's rare. But we're doing it. We're doing it because these are stories that need to be told. Let's go.
And how long have you lived there?
Since November 2022.
Why do you live in the women's prison?
Welcome to the building.
Perjury charges.
Shout out to AT2.
Were you convicted of those charges?
For being such a great
Yes.
support.
And sentenced for those charges?
Yes.
Were you also charged with receiving stolen property?
Yes.
Listen carefully, you guys.
And those charges were dismissed as part of a
I want to
Yes.
put something out for
charges
you.
dismissed as part of a plea agreement?
Yes.
And you admitted to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Did you admit apologies. Did you admit to lying to the grand jury?
Yes.
Do you understand the consequences of providing false testimony here today?
Yes.
How are you doing today, Kayla?
I'm okay.
Is it difficult for you to be here?
Yes.
Why is that?
It's a lot.
And so, Kayla, there's a microphone right in front of you. It looks like a stick coming out from.
Let me tell you something, and I'm not going to interrupt the stream too much, okay? Don't you sit here, Caleb Montgomery, and tell us it's a lot for you to be here. You watched him abuse her for 2 years straight. You watched him close fist, blunt force trauma attack this child in the back seat of a car seat because she peed on herself back there. And you watched him lose his temper, and then say, "I think we killed her this time." Okay, so you tell me what's a lot. She was 5. What's a lot? I've never balled up my fist and punched my son in the face or punched him anywhere. What's a lot? What's a lot is your parenting. That's what's a lot.
From beside the computer screen there. If you can just sit a little bit closer to that, it's a little difficult for me to hear you. And I want to make sure that all of these jurors hear what I'm saying. So you said it's a lot.
We're going to play another clip tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to play this every day till we get caught up. We're going to get caught up. Yeah, we need to talk about what's a lot.
Do you know
I'll
someone
show
named
you what a
Adam
lot is.
Montgomery?
Yeah.
Listen,
And how do you know him?
here we go.
He and my husband.
Turn on the
You
woodwork.
said he's your husband.
Yeah.
But she was there the whole time.
How long have you two been married?
6. It'll be 6 years.
Do you remember the date you got married?
Yeah, it was June 7th, 2017.
How long have you known Adam Montgomery?
Since we were in high school.
Are you currently in legal proceedings related to your marriage?
Yes.
Did you file for divorce?
Yes, I did.
Did you leave the defendant at some point in time?
Yes.
Do you know if after you left him, he started?
Now, let me tell you something. She's in legal proceedings, right? Filing for divorce. One thing that I do know for sure is that when you are legally married, you cannot, in some states, you cannot testify against your spouse or your partner. Okay? You can't. Not while you're legally married. Okay? So, number one, the prosecution wants her testimony. Okay? That's first and foremost. That's number one. Okay? So they want her testimony. And they want her to. So that's why she is divorcing. I mean, that's why she is divorcing, what's his name? That's why she's divorcing him. Period. Okay. So listen. So you can't not testify against your husband if you guys are still married. So let me tell you something. If it wasn't for her trying to turn these tables, because first she told them this is why she's in jail, because she told them that she was not there during the murder. And then they found out that she was not working that day on December 9th at Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. They found out that she was there. She was in the car and she had everything to do with it. And she was present when Harmony was attacked. Okay. So that's why she's in jail right now, because she lied to the grand jury and said she was not there. Okay. That's what she said. All right. So she's divorcing him so that she can go ahead and do her thing and try and get a deal. I believe that they deserve the exact same time, but let's let this play, because she feels like she's the victim in this opposed to Harmony. And I'm getting that through the screen, just the energy period. And I'm going to tell you, this is my first time watching it with you guys. Okay, let's go.
started a relationship with another individual.
Yes, he did.
Do you know that person's name?
I watched 5 minutes and that
Kelsey
was it.
Small.
Did you ever meet Kelsey Small?
Yes.
Do you have any children with the defendant?
Yes, I do. I have 3.
3 children. What are their names?
Seamus, Declan, and Kira.
3 kids. Yeah.
So you talked about where you're currently living at the women's prison.
Yeah.
Where did you live back in October of 2019?
I was living at 77 Guilford Street in Manchester, New Hampshire,
How long did you live there?
for about a year and a half.
For a year and a half. Why did you stop living there?
Because we got kicked out of the house.
Was that an eviction?
Yes,
Do you remember what month and what year that was?
November 2019.
When you lived at the 77 Guilford Street address, who did you live with there?
It was myself, Adam, Seamus, Declan, and Harmony.
Do you think you'd recognize that address if you saw it today?
Yes.
Yes, you may.
And so, Kayla, I'm going to hand you, it's been marked for identification as States Exhibit 42A through J. And I'm just going to ask you to look at each of those. And look at it.
Counselor, can you approach just a minute?
Okay, and so if you can go through them, starting with 42A, and it looks like they're, let me get them back in order really quick.
Teresa.
And some way, somehow, you guys, I'm really trying, I'm really, 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 really trying not to talk and let her speak. But for whatever reason, I really, really feel like she feels like she's the victim. And she's not. She's not. She is not the victim. But she's making it like she is the victim. And I find that to be very, 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 very disgusting. She's a victim, but Harmony can't speak for herself. But you can. Stone cold. You're not saying nothing. Come on, let's get to it.
So starting with A and going to J, if you could just look at each of those images and identify them in turn.
The first, A is the driveway and the mailbox. And B is the outside of the house, of the front yard. And this is in the basement ceiling.
I'm just gonna ask you to please keep your voice up, because all
Yeah.
the jurors need to be able to hear you. Thank you.
And if you could just note which letter you're on.
42C.
Okay, and what did you say 42C is?
That's the ceiling in the basement. And 42D is
No emotion.
The
That's right,
ceiling.
Iris.
in the attic.
Oh my
I
God,
believe.
is Jane Locke in the building? I'm looking at my TV.
Yeah.
What's going on,
And
Jane?
42E is the attic.
Wondering about you.
Storage room in the
Welcome.
attic.
Love you,
And
some Jane Locke.
42F
Come on,
is
Jane. Welcome.
room.
Thank you for being here.
And whose room is
Bedroom.
F?
My number one
It
supporter
was
is right there.
Mine and Adam's
Yeah, yeah.
and the two
Dude.
boys.
Yeah.
Okay, and G?
That's Harmony's
Bring us
room.
back in full effect. The third live.
H?
Damn, we about to hit our
Harmony's
5K.
The kitchen is I, and the back porch is J, or the front. I don't know which one that is.
And
Oh, that's the front.
there, it's the front.
Yeah,
So it's the front room.
Look,
yeah, the
Sure.
living room.
And are those fair and accurate representations?
Our Trish is back.
Does that make
hold
sense?
on. There we go.
As you remember,
Those
Yes.
are the ones I'm missing, you know?
this one I need to strike the ID and mark this full.
Any objection?
I think she may have fixed it, or the question may have, as you remember it, but I think I'd like further foundation of.
Yes?
She's trying so hard to be the victim in this, and she's not. There's no other way they can play it to us. I don't care what they say. Look at his face. He doesn't care. Not at all. Remember what the investigators had to do with this man. What did they have to do? They had to go looking for him.
So,
So-
Kayla, you said that those are fair and accurate representations of the Guilford Street address as you remember it.
Yes.
And so I was referring specifically to October 2019. Is that an accurate representation of the house back then
Yes, without the furniture.
and without your things?
Yeah.
What happened December 7th, 2019 when you were in
Any
the
objection?
car?
No, Your Honor. The ID is stricken. Each of those are entered as full exhibits.
And so Kayla, you were telling us about the front room, and I think you also mentioned the kitchen.
Yes.
Where are those in relation to each other?
I don't buy it.
They
I'm not buying it.
When you walk into the house, the living room is right in the front, and then you walk through, and there's the kitchen.
Can I ask you guys a question? Let me ask some of my loyal supporters, because all of my loyal supporters, the ones that I'm taking with me to the crime sector, you guys are my definitely base. You guys are all here, you know, with the exception of a few of the wishes, but for the most part, the ones that I talk to on a regular basis are here. Let me ask you guys something about this lady up here, and just make sure that Trig is not off, you know, kill with this, because this is my third story today, and I'm a little fired up. But is she not playing like she is the victim? Like she is crying, but I don't think she's crying for Harmony. I think she's crying because she is in there for perjury and doesn't know when she's going to get out. Do you know what I mean? And that's why she's all set prosecuting. I'm sorry. All of a sudden, going to be a witness on prosecution and go do all this stuff against Adam to flip the script. Like she has three other children, right? Where are they? They better be in CPS while they're both locked up. Okay? Yeah, she's acting like she did nothing wrong. I'm confused. Is it me? She's crying, but she's not crying for Harmony. She's crying for herself, you guys. Like she's crying because she got caught. She told them that she was at Dunkin' Donuts working the day that Harmony was murdered, which was December 7th. Okay, 2019. We're gonna get into it. Don't worry, because I'm gonna go ahead and bring back more of the story. I think so because you guys don't know what's going on. And I remember when this happened 2 years ago. I was like, "Where is this little girl?" And then the story went away, and now it's coming back because he's going to trial. Listen, this punk mofo. Now I'm trying to keep my monetization to stay green. This punk ass mother has a nerve not to tell us where the girl's body is because he wants a deal. And I believe that she knows. Okay? Yeah, Wonder Red privilege. Absolutely the victim. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I know, right? Cyrus, we see you went green. Let's see if you stay green, Cyrus. All right? You got something to prove, Cyrus. Now, but listen, look at her. Why is she crying? They're not showing her pictures of Harmony. She doesn't care. She watched Adam kill her and said, I think we killed her this time. I want to know what they're going to do with that statement because it's in the courts. I'll show it to you.
But there's a wall that separates the kitchen and the living room.
Keep crying
But
about.
there's still the walkway to walk through.
So you can
How
walk
dare
around
you.
from one to another. I'm gonna take those back from you.
She's mad 'cause she got.
If you need more water, just let me
I'm not even going to jail for nothing.
So focusing back on that time period, September, October 2019, what was your life like back then?
Didn't live in
I
jail.
was
Free.
working up until November
No.
2019 at Dunkin' Donuts.
Now she's telling the truth. She was working till November 2019. But remember, she said November 2019, right? But Harmony was murdered on December 7th, 2019. Now, the reason why she's in jail is because she told the grand jury that she was at work. Why Melanie was murdered in that car. And then they called and found out that that was not the truth, that she was not at work. She was already fired. How about that part? That's why she's in jail.
I would work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Adam would be home with the kids while I'm at work. And he would drop me off and pick me up from work because I didn't have a license. And then after he would pick me up, I would be at the house with the kids, and he would leave some nights because
So let me make sure I've gained a clear understanding of their marriage. So pretty much you had a fourth child, right? Pretty much she had yeah. Throw some bangs in the chat if you're banging with Trigger TV. Some bangs in the chat. We ain't seen those in a while. Now let me make sure I've gained a clear understanding of the thug life that she's living with 3 kids. So you got to stay home, man, mom, who pretty much takes care of your 3 kids while you go work at Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, while he plays video games, probably smoke weed all day on the couch, picks you up late from work, where you outside, stand outside for 5-10 minutes while he does what he wants to do. And the house is dirty, filthy. You got to come home and cook dinner. Like, yeah, I can picture it all. And then he gets up and leaves to go see his next boo because you all worn out. He got 3 kids out of you. He's had enough of you, right? Yeah, that part. Yeah. Put them 45s up in that clip. That's right, yeah. Yeah. That's what kind of man, that's what kind of boy she married. So she didn't have 3 kids. She had 4 kids. And one of them murdered one of her kids.
we were using drugs.
And nobody came.
When you
to
say
check.
we were using drugs,
The original
what do you mean?
mother lost custody for using drugs. And then they turned around and gave this baby to a man with a rap sheet, a drug history, and everything because she was in another court and couldn't make it to this one. So you turned around and gave her to a career criminal. 2 career criminals at that.
like getting high, using heroin and
Make
crack
sure you guys smash
and
that thumbs up for me, you guys.
weed.
Hit the thumbs up. Throw some blue hearts in the chat.
And when
Throw
you
some
say we
bangs
were
in the
getting
chat.
high and using heroin and crack and weed, who's we?
Adam and I.
And listen carefully.
And what was your drug of choice?
Sure
It was
did.
both heroin and
Sure
crack.
did, Jane Lott. His 5-year-old
Are you
baby.
sober now?
Blunt force
Yes.
trauma,
What
Jane.
did it take for you to become sober?
Going to jail.
Yeah, Jane. She peed on herself in the car seat. And he turned around and delivered some blows to a 5-year-old in a car seat because they were living out the car because he can't take care of his own children. And she peed, she's 5 years old and peed in her car seat. And he decided to ball his fist up and knock her all upside her head. And she died from blunt force trauma. Yeah. Over and over. And then this ish right here turned to him because she was in the car when it happened because it happened frequently and said, I think we killed her this time. But then she told the grand jury that she was not there when the murder took place. She was at work, which in November, she was fired from that job. And the girl lost her life, the 5-year-old Harmony, which you see the pictures on the thumbnail, that's Harmony. She lost her life on December 7th, 2019, but she was missing for 2 years. And her mother, you got to do the replay from this morning on the other video. Her mother put out a police report, a missing police report. Crystal Story. Okay? So this is a mess. And the only thing they got this raggedy hoe for is for perjury. Because they can't get her as an accomplice or nothing. And she was there. She should be charged. And Adam still has not told these people where Harmony's body is because this man wants a deal. How do you get a deal after you murder your children or murder any of your family members? The deal is you have hell to pay. Let's keep shit real over here. There is no deal.
I asked you about your
Yeah.
drug of choice back then. What was the defendant's?
What?
Heroin.
Crackheads. Heroin.
And you mentioned working at Dunkin' Donuts
Let me
up
mute
until
up.
November of 2019.
Yes.
What did the defendant do for work back then?
He was home with the kids.
And he'd
He's a
leave at
dad
night, you
mom.
said?
Playing video
Yeah, he
games.
would
selling
leave
fucking dope.
after I'd be home for a
Leave
couple
that.
hours. And go for rides.
Okay. Do you know,
Let me tell you what the husband was doing, selling dime bags at home, playing video games all day. And when she walked in the door, hey, baby, I sold 3. I got us $30 we can eat tonight. He was doing. And he called that manhood, taking care of your kid. I wish I would take care of my kid like that. I'd whoop my own ass, okay? To take care of my child like that. I'd whoop my own ass. I promise you that. I'll whoop my own ass.
back then, how did you get your drugs?
Yeah,
I
how
had
do you
money
do that?
from my
Somebody
job,
explain it how.
and that's what I remember up until we got kicked out, evicted from the house.
Once they were evicted, Destiny should have went back to her mother, you guys.
And you mentioned Harmony, Declan, and Seamus.
You
How
guys
did you
support
support
the
them?
stream. You guys can donate to chicken.
We had
You want to.
food
For that.
stamps,
Whenever you want to, I'm here for it.
and my income
So listen to the
which
story.
was-
That's more important.
barely anything at the time.
Listen, this shit.
Was there anyone that you were close to back then in September, October 2019?
There was a few people that were in and out back then of my life, but I know one that was around a lot was Tabitha Scott.
And what about people from work? Were you close to anyone there?
Kimberly Frayne.
That's right. Support 3 kids. He working and he not working. He support 3 kids.
You
on
knew her from work?
Donuts.
Yes.
I'm not slamming nobody.
How long had you known?
I'm not slamming nobody. I promise. Okay, I'm not. Because to each his own. We got mothers out there working at Burger King and working at Kmart and working at Walmart just to fucking survive. I'm not slamming nobody, but yes, you working at Dunkin' Donuts with 3 kids while you got your man that's more than capable of sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing but playing mom, dad. I wish I would. Please. You got me fucked up. I got a child to take care of, a whole live one too. 13. I've been here the whole time, 10 years. Yeah. My job. You know what I mean? And I take it seriously. Me and my wife take it seriously. Taking care of him, we take it seriously. That comes before taking care of us. Stability. What's wrong with these parents? I know what's wrong with them. It all starts at the top. Them screws is loose. But look, she wants us to feel bad for her. So let's listen.
And Kimberly Frayne.
Um,
Play game.
since 2016, I
Go on
believe.
how you punch a child.
And so
I'm
back
right
in
there with you.
October of
How you punch
2019, how would you describe your relationship with her? You've called her a friend. Were the two of you close?
Yeah, we weren't as close as we used to be because I switched franchises, so I didn't see her that much. But started talking to her again because she was using drugs at the time and she had a car, and it was just another way to be able to get drugs.
Through Kimberly?
Yes.
Do you know where she lived back in September, October 2019?
I remember she lived on Russell Street in Manchester.
Had you been to her home on Russell Street?
Yes.
How many times would you say?
I don't know, probably about 4, 5 times that I can remember.
And who did she live with back then in her home on Russell Street?
Her husband, Chris Frayne, and her daughter, their daughter.
And you just mentioned Chris Frayne. Did you know him as well?
Yeah,
How'd you know him?
through Kim.
How would you describe your relationship with him?
It was, I don't know, we were all just friends. Like, he was just a really nice person.
You know what kills me about these parents, you guys, is that they get up here and they act like they did, like their kids did something to them. These kids didn't ask to be brought here. They didn't ask for you to be their parent. You know what I mean? The book is already written, and then they come up here with this look at her face. Look at her face. I want to pause it like a damn llama, like somebody that slapped you, with, and no one's done anything to you. You're the one that's done the damage, and she's over here crying. She's crying for herself, not for what she's done, not for what her husband's done, not for what she's watched exist the entire time. She's crying for herself. Somebody tell me why the is this bitch crying for herself? She's crying for her because she's locked up for perjury. She's not crying because all this shit has happened. She's crying because she got caught. Okay? Absolutely not. I'm not buying it. A perjury charge, they're going to need to up the charges. She was there. Up the charges. Up the ante. You were there.
And have you kept in contact with either Chris or Kim Frayne?
I was in contact with Chris back in January, the end of December, January, before I got arrested.
And Kayla, I want to turn your attention specifically to October of 2019 and the theft of firearms. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
What am I referring to?
The firearms got taken and stolen out of Chris Frayne and Kimberly Frayne's house.
What kind of firearms were stolen?
I have no idea what the names of them are. I just know they were big. I don't remember the names.
Let's back up. You said firearms. Was this more than one?
Yeah. Yes.
How many are we referring to?
2 that I remember.
Okay. And how would you describe them?
Like a rifle type. I don't know. They were just big rifle, shotgun. I don't know what the names of them are. I don't know what they're called.
So a rifle, shotgun.
Yeah.
Did you personally see these?
Yes.
I want to talk about the first time that you saw them. Can you tell us about that?
I know that there were people at the
Now, if you remember correctly, Cyrus, what she said was the only thing that got her sober was going to jail. Okay, because she was high when she got there. Okay, so yeah, mm-hmm, all that fried her brain cells. Yeah, she's through. She's emotionless, and she's trying to pull it off. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I had to show you this interview because it just pissed me off.
house that came so that we could buy drugs off them, and Adam was showing them to those couple of people that came by trying to sell them. And I remember I was taking care of the kids, and I was looking to see what was going on in the living room from the kitchen, and it was just chaos in that house at that time, that same night.
Why is that? Why was it chaos?
It was just a lot of people going in and out, and taking care of the kids at the same time. It was, I don't even know.
And I
No, what I know is that she was high. Yeah, that's what I know. A lot to be high and take care.
think you said that night. Are we talking about nighttime?
Yes.
So the incident that you're describing, were you already aware at that point that the guns had been stolen from the Frayne house?
Yes.
All right. And you said people had come to sell drugs.
Yeah.
Was that to you or to someone else?
To Adam, but I was going to be doing the drugs too.
Okay. So they came to sell drugs to Adam. You were going to do the drugs as well.
Yes.
And it sounded like you said he offered to sell them the firearms.
Yeah, to trade them or buy the firearms or trade them for drugs.
Okay. So he had them at that point and he was going to trade them or sell them for drugs?
Yes. Trade them for drugs or sell them for money.
At that point, did you know what he was wanting to get for them?
No, I had no idea because I don't know. I never dealt with that before. I just let him deal with it because I don't know.
And the individuals that you're referring to that came to the house, do you know their names?
I remember Mike. I don't remember his last name. And I don't remember if the other two came that night, but there was always somebody with Mike all the time. And I just remember Ish and Manny. I don't know their last.
Let me tell you guys what I need. Here's what I need. I need her brain to catch up with her speech. Okay? I don't know how long she's been locked up. Let me look at my notes. Okay? I don't know when they arrested this girl. Okay? But at the end of the day, she's been in there long enough to where she's clean. And I need her brain to catch up with her speech. Okay? Because, yeah, she still does sound high. Like she doing drugs in the jail. How do you do that? Get an airplane, You in there messing with Eligio Bishop? I mean, what are you doing? This is complete insanity. Yeah, she nodding off. Heroin addict. Like, I don't remember. Like, your testimony is, oh Lord, and you're supposed to be the prosecution's secret weapon. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that they're in trouble.
Last names.
Okay. So Mike, Ish, and Manny were there that night to sell Adam drugs.
I believe, yeah.
And I think you said he offered them the 2 guns.
Yeah.
And how long after you found out about the theft was this incident that you're describing?
It was within the couple of days, like the next
Unbelievable.
night or something like that. It was around that time, same time.
She remembers a lot because her ass is locked up for perjury.
You described it
Trying
as
to go back.
chaos. How did Ish, Manny, and Mike
Stay
react
any
to
longer.
this offer of the guns?
They were checking them out, and
Listen, the reason why she is answering every single question because let me tell you something. Speed it up, 304. Straight up. Yeah. Go on, say it. Yeah. We throw this hoe against the wall with the crazy glue. She get on my damn nerves. But let me tell you, the reason why this hoe is trying to get every detail because she knows why she's in there, okay? She's in there for perjury to a grand jury saying she wasn't there. So she's trying to really tread softly and not tell not one lie, or else her ass is gonna be there even longer than what she's there for now. Trust and believe me, by the time this shit goes to trial next month, she's gonna catch more than a perjury charge. You're an accomplice to a murder.
they were just checking them out, looking at them, and they were saying that they would think about it. But they also knew that the guns were missing from Chris and Kim's house, but they didn't know that those were those guns yet.
Okay. When did you first become, let me strike that question. At some point, did you become aware that the defendant had stolen Kim Frayne and Chris Frayne's firearms?
Yes.
And tell us about that.
I know Kim was freaking out because she noticed that they were missing, and she was trying to figure out where they went and who took them before Chris came back home because he was on the road, truck driver or whatever he did. And so Kim called and asked if we knew anything or if anybody was in and out the house. And then the other people that I mentioned that she was involved with, she was asking everybody if they've seen them or taken them or anything like that. But and something Kim's, I guess the night they got stolen, well, I know the night they got stolen, Chris, Kim left her door open to her house and she was passed out.
And let me stop you there. Were you there that night the guns got stolen?
No.
But you said you know the night that they got stolen. How do you know that information?
Because Kim was freaking out, and when she called, she said that her door was open and
Doesn't sound like the truth to me. It sounds like she just making shit up. You knew that the guns were missing probably because you were the one who took them. Like, let's get real here. Like, stop playing with us. Don't play with our top. Because now I got to play all your court shit since now you're divorcing your husband. You know, I mean, you guys are both a part of this. It doesn't matter if you're together or divorced. I've seen married couples go in there. You're both going to go down for this. You're an accomplice. So this perjury, they're just holding you so they can go ahead and stack on some more charges. So what you did, you're going to get what he got. You were there. Okay, you were not at work. Dunkin' Donuts said that. The mother said every time she looked for Harmony after she was missing, she would always just go to the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. She had no significant reason why, because Adam never told her why they ever met there. They met there because Kayla's ass used to work there before she got fired. So the day of the murder, you weren't working. You got fired and you were in the car when he beat Harmony to death because of your statement and what you said. So don't take us around the bush. Like, let's get this shit all the way over with. Because once he gets slid in trial next month, you're next. Like a lunch tray. Y'all know what the fuck it is.
And then Adam went to go check on her too. Adam was supposed to be going to meet her. And when he pulled up to the house, the door was open and she was passed out. And he woke her up.
Were you there for that?
No,
How do you know that?
because he told me.
And when you say he told me, who were you
Adam
here
told
for?
me.
So he told you that he went to her house that night?
Well, I already knew he was supposed to be going there
Okay. How did you know he was supposed to be going there?
because he was supposed to meet her to do something with drugs. It had something to do with drugs because that's the only time we really were seeing her.
Was that typical for the defendant back then to go to her house by himself?
Around that time, yeah, because he was the one with the car license, and we weren't gonna bring the kids out when it's nighttime and it's time for them to go to bed.
You described living on Guilford Street, and I think you said Kim lived on
Russell
Russell
Street,
How far apart, or how long would it take to get from your house to Kim's house?
I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes. Could be less, a little less or a little more, but she lived all the way on.
Yeah, I'm about to slide her like 10 lunch trays because you know what? Give me an hour and 12 minutes of this nonsense of you your raw court video of you testifying in the weapons trial against Adam Montgomery. Like, you know how that gun came up missing. You or Adam probably took it, but I mean, again, you didn't shoot Harmony. You just abused her and made her life hell. What was the reason for that? Like, you need to get slid like 20 lunch trays and then some. Good night. Why are you the victim, Kayla? Somebody stand up and tell me why. Because you're not. Why do you not have the same charge? They need to hurry up and expedite the process because this a hold and a hold for perjury after a whole witnesses is a murder. A whole don't need to be speaking. A whole should be behind some plexiglass on camera or visiting us and the motherfucking judge talking from a fucking camera, bitch. Because you're not safe for society. Because you're a hoe. Period.
Like almost near Hooksett. She lived like near the store that I met her working at, the South Beach Street store before Livingston Park.
It took about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to back up just a bit. You said the defendant told you that he went to her house, but you already knew he was going to her house.
Yeah.
And he told you that her door was open?
Yes.
And then what else did he tell you about that interaction?
And he said that she was passed out and he was he woke her up, and when she woke up she was freaking out about the guns missing.
When did he tell you that story?
It was that same night.
When he got home?
Yes.
Now watch her live. Listen.
And can you describe for us him getting back home?
Watch.
I'm sorry, what?
Can you walk us through him returning home that night?
I know.
Here's where she lies. Did you guys see her face? Did you see this hoe's face? Look, here's where she lies. Don't worry, I'm going to put all you guys on. so that when we go and we watch Adam's trial next month, you guys are going to know exactly what happened. Because I feel like my audience doesn't know, my core audience, the ones that are here all the time don't know. I'm going to put you guys on. Look at her face. Look, watch.
Sorry, what?
Sorry,
Can
what?
you walk us through
Lion.
him returning home that night?
Look.
I know I was waiting for him, and I was laying down with the kids, and
Her face.
I think I heard him come through the door, because I always heard him come through the door. And when he came through the door, I don't remember him having anything when he came through the door.
Did you see him come through the door?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think he was going in and out, and from what I remember, I don't remember seeing him bring anything in. I don't know where he put anything yet. Like, I don't know. I don't remember.
Did he have drugs with him that night?
Yes, I believe so.
And
I don't know. It's a fog, because I know we were just getting high a lot.
you said you didn't know where he put them yet.
No,
And what are you referring to by them?
because they were in the attic of the house.
Sorry, when you say they were in the attic,
She's treading very, very, very carefully when answering these questions. Very carefully.
what are you referring to?
The guns.
Okay. And did you see the attic of the house in those photos that I showed you?
Yes.
So you told us about this story the defendant told you about going to Kim Frane's home, finding the door open, she's passed out, and then she started, I think you said, freaking out
Yeah,
about
she-
the
yeah.
missing guns.
Yes.
Did he ever tell you a different story about that night?
No.
Did you confront him about the guns?
I just didn't know what to say. I was kind of upset about it, because that they're supposed to be our friends, but I don't know. It was just messed up, that whole situation.
And when you say they're supposed to be our friends,
Kim and Chris.
why were
Frane.
you upset about it?
Because I didn't like the guns, first of all, and second of all, he just took them without even and he could have given them back after they realized they were gone, but he didn't.
So where was your voice at? So if that's what you wanted to happen and you're his wife, where was your voice at? Somebody tell me that. Because I'll tell you one thing, me and my wife both have the same voice. If we don't want each other to do something and it violates our zero tolerance policy, we're both coming to each other, because we were best friends before we were lovers. So we just let each other know. We say best friend mode, and that means it's on and popping. You're not doing it because of this, that, and the other. You're not fixing to fuck my life. Yeah, both of us. Yeah. So where was her voice? You allowed it. Just like you allowed Harmony to get her life taken. You could have stopped it, and you didn't. Where's the victim in that? Who's the victim? You or Harmony? You're not crying for Harmony. Crying for you.
And you said he just took them. How do you know he took them?
Because he's told me that he took them.
Okay. And so I want to stop you just then. So you told me the story he told you about going into the home, finding Kim passed out, waking her up, her freaking out.
Yeah.
It sounds like there was a subsequent conversation. So another conversation later when he told you that they were stolen. Is that right?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that conversation?
All he said was that Kim was passed out and he ended up taking the guns. That's there wasn't really a story with it.
And that upset you?
Yeah, because he took them from friends and I didn't want the guns in the house.
Took them from friends.
Yeah.
Were you still working with Kim at that point?
No, we worked at separate stores.
Did you ever talk to her about the theft that night?
Not that night, no.
Not that night, but did she discuss cameras with you at some point?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that interaction?
She told me that she called the police department and put a stolen
He absolutely
like
is.
reported
Absolutely is. Iris.
stolen items,
Watch.
and she said that she's gonna see whoever did it because there was cameras. Her neighbors had cameras, and she said that she was getting the
Okay.
camera, like the camera footage or whatever, so that she could see who took them.
Did that concern you at all?
Yeah.
And you'd already seen the guns at that point.
Yes.
What did you do with that information?
I told Adam.
What was his response?
Honestly, I don't remember. I know he was a little worried. I remember that, but I honestly don't remember.
So you just previously you described an interaction a night or two. It sounds like it was the night after the theft where Mike is there, Ish is there, and Manny's there.
Yes.
The defendant offered them the guns for sale or for trade,
Yes.
drugs or money.
Yes.
Did you ever witness any other transactions like that with those guns?
Not that I remember. I know there was another transaction, but I don't remember how it went down, or I don't remember any of that, but I know there was.
Let me back up. The first transaction that you just described with Mike, Ish, and Manny, what were you doing during that?
I don't know. I was all around the house because the kids were awake and not in bed because they woke up from all the noise, which happened every time. And I tried keeping them in the kitchen and was trying to get them to relax, but that wasn't happening. And it was just a lot going on at once. The guys being in the house, and then also people getting high in the house, those people. But then they would be there and then they'd be gone real quick. Like they'd come in and they'd leave.
Did the guns stay in the house that night?
Yes.
And I believe you said they were stored in the attic.
Yeah, Adam's mad. Let me
Yes.
tell you why.
Were they?
Adam's so mad because Adam got caught. The mother said earlier in the interview that I played for you guys that Harmony was 5 years old and she absolutely would have talked to the police if she knew that she was safe. But Adam would never allow her to speak to anybody without him being present. So he was absolutely abusing her in some type of way, whether it be physical, emotional, definitely emotional, physical, definitely with the blunt force trauma. Whether there's some sexual, I don't know, but you know what I mean. He was definitely abusing her in every way possible because he would never let that child speak to anybody without him being present, and that is the first sign of abuse. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so he hit her. He hit her. Okay, so yeah, she only remembers what she wants, right? Listen, let her keep on lying. She's in there right now for perjury, lying to the grand jury. And you can tell she's lying. She's taking too damn long with these answers. And she's testifying in the weapons trial against Adam. So, I mean, this is your time, bitch. It's your time. Mm-hmm. You imagine what he's thinking? Yeah, how dare you divorce me and just to testify against me, knowing that we slept in the car together and did all this together, and you want to go and testify against me? I could imagine they did it together. They're accomplices.
They stored in something.
I don't know.
She knows.
Do you remember telling law
She
enforcement
know.
that they were?
Basis?
Aiding in that proper foundation.
Rephrase the question, please.
Do you remember them being stored or wrapped in something?
Not that I remember.
Do you remember meeting with law enforcement? Do you
Yes.
remember a June 3rd proffer back in 2022?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling law enforcement at that point?
Approach?
Like she need a glass of water. Pop. Like she need a glass of water. What she need a glass of water for? Look at him. If he wasn't behind bars, he would have choked her out. Look at his face. Mm-mm-mm. The things that are running through his mind. Look at him. Mm-hmm.
Can we proceed?
During that proffer, do you remember disclosing that the firearms were stored in a blue sheet and blanket?
Yes.
Is that what they were stored in?
From what? In the attic, because we didn't sleep in the attic anymore. But I know they were stored in the storage room. But I do remember the sheet.
Do you remember what color the sheet was?
Blue.
Was there also a blanket?
I don't remember a blanket.
Mm-mm-mm.
But you remember a blue sheet?
Yes.
How many times did you see those firearms in your house?
About three times, I believe. I don't remember, but I know at least 3 times.
Okay. And I want to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to ask you, do you know someone named Kevin O'Leary?
Yes.
Do you know him by another name?
No.
Okay. How do you know Kevin O'Leary?
He lived up the hill from the Guilford Street house, and Adam met him somehow. I don't know
a
how,
lot of I don't know in
but
there.
I guess he knew him or something. And he was,
There's a lot of I don't knows in there for her to be testifying in a weapons charge against her ex, soon to be estranged ex-husband. And for you to be in jail for perjury, a lot of I don't knows for you to be retestifying. You know, just like you didn't know that Harmony was murdered on December 7th, 2019, 2019 in the car with you and Adam because you were at work. Huh? That part? Remember that? Or you don't know that either? Because you know, when they called Dunkin' Donuts, or sorry, when the investigators went down to Dunkin' Donuts, they said you were fired in November. So you were definitely there. But you don't know that either. You didn't see that either. You didn't turn to him and say, I think we killed her this time. What about that? Do you know that? Let's see what you do know.
smoking weed. That's what it was, smoking weed.
No
And
case.
he
Yeah, no
smoked
face, no case, no
a blunt
grace.
with him,
Definitely.
and that's how I remember them meeting. But I don't know if they knew each other from before. I don't remember.
Okay. Would you see him regularly, Kevin?
Yes.
How often would you see Kevin?
You're right. Where's that little girl at?
Almost about
Face that.
every day, like from back in that period of the fall 2019.
So very frequently, it sounds like.
Yes.
What was your relationship like with Kevin?
he wasn't really my friend. He was Adam's friend. So, but he would obviously like, he had respect for me because I'm Adam's wife, and he was very nice. But I didn't not like him, but I don't know. He was just there to me.
And you said he was Adam's friend.
Yes.
Did you ever observe a transaction between Adam and Kevin?
No, I don't remember a transaction happening, but I remember Kevin looking at the gun. One of the guns. I don't even know if we had them all anymore. I don't know, but in the house, but I know he looked at one. He was looking at one.
Do you remember? Sorry, when Kevin was looking at the gun,
Months
was
with a
that
real
with you or
healthy
was that
fish.
with Adam?
Both.
Okay, so you were there for that.
Yes.
What were you doing?
Oh God, I can't. Please stop. Please do not put me on this floor. She said a real healthy bitch. Who's sneaking Dunkin'? Let's read some of these. Who's sneaking Dunkin' Donuts in her cell? Oh my God, I'm done. You guys gotta stop. Who's sneaking Dunkin' Donuts in her cell? She ain't missing no snacks. A real healthy bitch. Oh, I'm done. Yeah, her ass gonna be what? See, she a little chunky now. Let's see her in about 6 more months. See if she can fit in that chair right there. Her ass gonna be eating all the carbs, all the motherfucking what they call them, the oatmeal cookies that they keep talking about. Yeah, she gonna eat all the oatmeal cookies, all the carbs. The bitch ain't gonna pass on one meal, all the cornbread, anything they give her, mystery, anything, she eating it. She's eating it. Just like she's gonna eat this trial and eat this shit that comes up. She's gonna eat it. Trust me. She's going circle after circle after circle. And I'm just watching how the prosecution is going to do her. They're going to do her. Watch.
At the time?
Getting high.
At some point during that interaction, did Kevin and Adam leave your house with one of the firearms?
Not at that time, like not right at that moment. Kevin went home from what I remember, and because they did talk about leaving with it, and Adam had it put away under the bed we were sleeping in at the time. And I remember getting in a fight with him because I didn't want him to leave the house, especially with the gun. I just didn't. I got in an altercation with him about it and tried taking it from him, and he still took it and left anyways. And like, it was just not good. And if we kept arguing about it, the kids were gonna wake up.
Was it nighttime?
Yes.
And so the kids were asleep.
Yes.
You said you didn't want him leaving with it, you didn't want him leaving, especially with a gun.
Yes.
Why?
Because I was nervous and scared that he'd get in trouble
Why would he get in trouble for having a gun?
because he's a felon and not supposed to have one.
So you told him not to?
Yes.
But a minute ago, you said that you didn't know about the gun. Didn't she say she didn't know? She didn't. That's the wife. Ignore the wife. She's screaming at the dogs. Anyway, but didn't she just say she didn't know? Now all of a sudden she know. Okay, what's Harmony's a trip. I mean, not
Did he
Harmony.
leave anyway?
Kayla's a trip.
Yes.
You know where he went with it?
I remember him and Kevin talking about going up behind Rock Rimmon to shoot it off. That's what I remember.
Do you remember him coming back that evening?
I don't remember. I was sleeping with the kids at the time.
And after he left to go to, I think you said Rock Rimmon,
Yeah.
to shoot the gun, was that gun under your bed after that?
Not that I noticed.
Do you know any other individuals that the defendant attempted to sell those guns to?
No, not that I know of.
Do you know someone named Mark Reed?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know someone named Tone?
Yes.
Did the defendant ever offer the firearms to them?
Yes.
Look at that.
I
Taking
don't
too
know
long.
about Mark, but Tone, yes.
When you ask somebody a question and it takes them that long to answer, yes, yes, don't you know that you're lying? This is too long. I mean, it's a yes or a no. There's no gray area. Bitch, yes or no? Yes, yes. Stop. Let's go. You're testifying in a weapons charge against your estranged husband, Adam Montgomery, who's going up for a second-degree murder charge next month, which you should be attached to as well because you were present. Okay? So we don't have time for the yes, no, I don't remember shit. You better remember because your life is on the line because you already watched someone take someone else's life. Congratulations, Jane Locke, for being a member for 2 months. We love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You're amazing. Thank you so much for all of your support too. But yeah, too much. Crazy. Way too much. Okay? Way too much. Only sorry for herself.
Can you tell us what you know of that?
Just offered to trade it for drugs.
Do you know Tone's full name?
Anthony Badero.
Kayla, I want to back up. So you mentioned these two firearms. Do you know anything about a stolen pistol from the Frayne home?
No, I do not.
Did you ever have a conversation with Kim about a missing
Your
handgun?
mouth is crooked and everything.
Not that I don't remember.
So I want to back up to that June 3rd proffer that we discussed earlier. During that proffer, do you remember telling law enforcement that Kim mentioned a still or misplaced handgun, but that was well before the stolen guns in this case?
Yes.
Is that you remember that conversation with Kim?
Yes.
Is that what she told you?
Yes.
And was it well before your husband stole your guns?
Yes.
Kayla, do you remember where you were back on December 30th, 2021?
Unbelievable. Here we go. I don't know. You ready?
Either in a family shelter at Fit or at my mom's. I don't remember which one.
Judge Mack.
Yes.
Don't remember which one. How convenient.
And so Kayla, I'm handing you, it's been marked for identification as 46A
She's feeling with her
through E.
mouth.
And I'm going to ask you to turn to the last page, E.
Okay.
And you can set those aside. So with respect to 46E, do you recognize anyone in those photos?
Yes.
Who do you recognize?
We're gonna get into it.
Kelsey and myself.
And you had mentioned a Kelsey Small earlier.
Yes.
Is that Kelsey Small in those photos?
Yes.
And you said yourself as well?
Yes.
What were you doing in those photographs?
Trading in phones at the phone machine thing that's at Walmart for money.
So how did you arrive? You mentioned Kelsey Small. Were you with her that day?
Yes.
Were you with anyone else?
Adam.
Did Kelsey and Adam leave you at some point during your interaction there or your time there at Walmart?
Yes.
Do you know where they went?
No.
So Kayla, I want to switch gears. Do you know someone named Tara Hilbert?
Yes.
Can you tell us about your relationship with Tara?
She was the property manager at the apartment that we were last living in together, on Union Street in Manchester. And we ended up having a friendship. And it was a good friendship. Like, our kids played with each other outside, and we cooked together, had barbecues and stuff like that. It was we were friends.
And when you say we cooked together, had barbecues, who do you mean when you refer to we?
Myself and Adam and Tara and her boyfriend,
Do you remember his name?
Josh.
Were you ever party to a conversation between Tara, her husband, and the defendant regarding firearms?
I don't remember.
Do you remember a conversation where the defendant accused you of telling the police on him in front of Tara, her husband?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Better tell the whole truth. Hold on. She better tell the whole truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. So help her God. You hear me? No, the whole truth. The whole truth. We want it.
He was
Yes.
All right, let's see. Because he's just sitting in the corner like nothing. Let's see. Yeah, there's too many ums and I don't remembers and all that. Let's fast forward and speed her up.
of a lot of things.
So Kayla, we were talking about a conversation between you, Tara, the defendant, and
Yeah.
Tara's
Don't lie
husband.
about it now. Let's go.
Do you remember a conversation about these guns where the defendant accused you in front of her, in front of Tara, of telling law enforcement on him?
Yes, he accused me of a lot of things.
And during that conversation, did he say that you were working with the police?
Yes,
Were you still using drugs back then?
yes, it was off and on.
And was the defendant still using back then?
Yes,
Had his temperament, or sorry, had his, I'll strike that question. So Kayla, we spoke earlier about that June proffer.
yes.
Do you remember who was party to that proffer? So who was there?
Myself, my lawyer, Paul, and Jesse, I forget his last name.
Does O'Neill sound familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you come to be there for that proffer?
Because I got subpoenaed to be questioned about Harmony, and I lied to the grand jury
Yeah.
because I was scared.
So let me back up. Had you been charged with a crime prior to meeting for that proffer?
Yes.
And Your Honor, may I approach?
So here's where it comes out. She lied to the grand jury about the day the Harmony lost her life. Probably the only part of the truth she tells. Dr. Jane Locke, thank you so much, Jane, for your support. I love you so much. Thank you for always supporting the stream and really building us up and encouraging us. I really appreciate you. And yes, we are definitely on a mission. I told you earlier in the stream that we are looking forward to hitting 5-6K this year. We are going to make it happen. We've definitely rebuilt, regained, and revamped over here. So know that when Trick takes her time off, I'm taking time because I want to bring you definitely some everlasting content, but definitely some good content. If it's not good, it's trash, I'm not doing it. So I want it to be fantastic. And you guys are definitely helping us rebuild, revamp, and revamp. And we are definitely on a mission here. Okay. So I'm excited to rebuild with the people that I have here. You guys are amazing. You guys are my day ones. Okay. And I'm going to take my day ones everywhere I go. You guys are amazing. So thank you so much for your support. Okay, love you guys so much. Let's go. Look at his face. Ooh, he makes me so mad.
So, Kayla, prior to meeting for that proffer, you said, I think you had been charged with a crime.
Yes.
Do you remember what you had been charged with?
Welfare fraud
Anything else?
and 2 counts of receiving stolen property.
And do you remember being charged with perjury as well?
Yes.
Okay. Did you receive a letter from the Department of Justice prior to going to that proffer meeting?
I don't remember.
Do you think it would help refresh your recollection if you saw the letter?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I remember this.
Okay. And so do you remember receiving a letter from the New Hampshire Department of Justice prior
Yes.
to that meeting?
Yes.
What is your understanding of what your obligation was going into that meeting?
To tell the truth.
And is that what you did in that proffer?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing here today?
Yes.
And so the activity that formed the basis for those charges you just mentioned, specifically receiving stolen property and perjury. I think you've explained the perjury. The receiving stolen property, though, what was the basis of that charge?
The receiving stolen property was for the guns.
So the guns in this case,
Yes.
they were in your home?
Yes.
You knew they were stolen?
Yes.
And you knew that your husband was a felon?
Yes.
After you were charged with those crimes, did you reach a plea agreement with the Department of Justice?
Yes.
What did you plead guilty to?
2 counts of perjury.
And was that to resolve all of your charges?
Yes.
So including the welfare fraud and the receiving stolen property?
Yes.
And Judge, approach the witness again.
No, you guys, I really, look at her. We're going to grab another tissue. Huh? Like, you need to be in there washing another bitch's drawers. Like, I just don't know. I don't feel sorry for I don't feel sorry for Kayla Montgomery. I don't believe that Kayla Montgomery was a victim of what's his name, of Mr. Adam Montgomery. Like, this is raw. This is raw. This is raw footage. Look at you. You're crying because you got caught. Another tissue. The driveway tears that you don't even have.
State's Exhibit 45 for identification purposes.
Mhm.
If you can just take a minute and look at that.
You killed another woman's kid. You watched another woman's kid die. Wasn't even your own. If you did it to your kids, what would you have done? Your 3 kids. Would you have let him do that? Or if it was Harmony, you did that? I don't understand. He's a mother of 3.
So what is that document?
The memorandum agreement between the state of New Hampshire and myself.
And is that the memorandum agreement as you remember it regarding your sentence?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point, I'd move to strike the ID and mark as full.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, approach. Maybe could you-
Need another cup of water, another little sip while you're free. You go back in that cell. You don't get no water till they bring it to you. Unless you got a drinking fountain and a toilet in that bitch. So drink all the water you can, bitch. Because when you get back in that bitch, you ain't gonna get no ice water in hell. Mm-hmm. Don't take another sip. That's about as cold as it's gonna get for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Trust and believe that. Look, she waiting. Don't worry, they're gonna have your ass on a platter next. You don't have to worry. Don't worry. You testified against Adam, did nothing. You're not a credible witness. You're in there for perjury. Okay? Ma'am? That's what it is, ma'am. Perjury. Let's fast forward this. I don't like just sitting here watching her bobble her head around. We don't have time for that. People got families and lives. Some of us do. All the people on my channel do. Shit. We different breed. We're not the same. Let's go. Come on, bobblehead. What are you waiting? Just waiting patiently? While he's staring her up and down like that. Look at him. He even got him an extra teardrop before he drop it on her. Because he ready. He ready, boy. He wish he would have offed her too, like James said. Like that. Like that.
We proceed.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
me neither. Hell no.
So, Kayla, with respect
Love
to
my
the
freedom.
sentence on those 2 felonies that you mentioned, what sentence did you receive?
I love
I
my freedom.
received the 2 counts of perjury.
And what was the sentence that was imposed?
I got 3.5 to 7 suspended, and a 3.5 to 7 with 1.5 suspended off my minimum.
And the 3.5 to 7 that you mentioned, is that the maximum prison sentence for each charge?
Yes.
Oh, unbelievable.
And what portion of that prison sentence are you currently fulfilling right now?
So 3.5 to 7 with the 1.5 off my minimum.
And you mentioned you mentioned a suspended portion of the sentence.
Yes.
What what if anything do you have to abide by for that to remain suspended?
I have to state as what the memorandum agreement is between myself and the state.
Not help kill any other children.
So is it suspended upon the conditions and continued parole?
Yes. But it's also suspended for, I have 10 years over my head.
And what is your obligation with respect to that agreement? What do you have to do?
I have to abide by the state.
And with respect to this trial, what is your obligation under that agreement?
To tell the truth.
What happens if you violate those conditions?
I can get all the charges that I have that got dismissed, and ones that I don't have, they can charge me with anything and take back everything that we agreed on.
So, Kayla, I want to briefly talk about a few of the things that we've mentioned here today, we've discussed today.
Pretty much.
You testified earlier that the defendant.
She's real slow, and he, So, in other words, bitch, what you're trying to say is that you got a deferred prosecution, meaning they're gonna let you go, and if you do anything again, lie again to them, do anything, cover up any of the shit, if they find out that you knew where the baby was the whole time, you're gonna get all those charges back and that 10 years back and plus and then some. So you got deferred prosecution. Don't take us around the block and play with our domes like that. We're not all stupid. You got deferred prosecution. If you do anything, all them charges come back, plus the one that you just got. Right, bobblehead? Right? You bobbleheaded, dizzy asshole. That's correct. I'm sorry, I don't have respect for people that kill kids or watch kids get murdered. and then play stupid and play victim. Bitch, that's what it is. Deferred prosecution. They got you locked down, period, at home. You do anything wrong, run into any kind of trouble, you get all them 10 years, all them charges, and then whatever you got, bobblehead, and you go to fucking prison, not the jail.
And had this transaction with Manny, Ish,
Oh,
and Mike.
Yes.
And you also testified about a transaction and maybe the defendant leaving the house to shoot the gun with Kevin,
Yes.
and that you didn't see the gun after that.
No. Not that I remember.
And you testified that you observed the defendant attempting to sell the guns, the stolen guns, for drugs and or money.
Yes.
that hoe was not on house arrest.
Who
We
was the
don't care
individual
what
that was
she is,
doing all
let
of
her
those
out.
things you just described?
Adam
She's in jail.
Montgomery.
And do you see Adam Montgomery here in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and point to him and describe the color of his shirt?
He's wearing a pink shirt.
Do you have any reason to protect him here today?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any reason to protect him here today?
No.
And Your Honor, if the record could reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Record so reflects.
If I can have just a moment.
No reason to protect him, but you were there. That's interesting.
I'm going to ask you to just remain seated for just a moment. We are going to take a break now. This is a good time for our mid-morning break. So ladies and gentlemen, about 15 minutes, okay? All rise for the jurors, please. You can remain standing. Sitting.
Right now, she's in jail. When she gets out, if she gets out, you're gonna have a tight squeeze on her. But I believe they're just holding her for perjury so they can get some more charges on her to keep her ass. Along with him. She knows she was there when the girl was murdered, so she's responsible.
Examination. It's up to you whether you want to keep her upstairs or take her down. About 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. I think they need. Okay, thank you. Counsel, if you would be back at 5 please. All set. Thank you.
His whole face is just telling us how he feels. He doesn't even have to speak. He's just side-eyeing this bitch from the corner. Look, now she walking out. So that's it. That's a wrap. That's what she had to say. A whole bunch of I don't know, all that shit. We're gonna see what she got to say tomorrow. I'm gonna find some more clips for you, and we're gonna put them together, okay? Because I want you guys to be up to par on this case before Adam takes his ass to trial next month. So we're gonna get some testimony from Adam up so that you guys can get a little bit more, knowledge on the case. But that's definitely it. That's Kayla Montgomery, which is a stepmom to Harmony. Okay, you guys heard the mom speak out earlier this morning. Okay, and that was what was her name? Stacy, no, Crystal Sorry. Okay, and that's the mother, the birth mother of Harmony. All right, so tomorrow I may hit you, or the day after I may hit you with another story. Regarding this one, the Kayla Montgomery story, like the Harmony story. To hit you with what happened from the beginning and kind of take you back a little bit. Of how things work, so that you guys have a clear understanding. That's what I'm doing now. Right now, you're seeing testimony. Right now, you're seeing, yeah, the dad did kill her. So let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so let's do that. So I'm definitely going to take you back. The reason why I wanted to show you part 1 and 2 is so that you could put it together and find out what's going on, opposed to dropping one last night, one today. No, that doesn't make sense. So let's get up out of here. But I love you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure that you guys definitely stay in the building. Get subscribed. Make sure you stay green, turn green. Make sure you guys definitely support the stream. Throw some blue hearts in the chat. Throw some collisions in the chat. You guys definitely, the thumbs up is free too. Make sure you tell them that you like it. You're liking the new content because this is how we're going. And yeah, we're going on the train, baby. We are going to 5K, 6K this year. I know we can do it. And it's going to take us a little bit of time, one at a time, but we got this. Thank you so much, 82, for the super sticker. Yeah, super sticker. I appreciate all your support and always being here, always being in the building. Love you to death. But you guys, we definitely are getting up out of here. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you're notified every time I drop a video. Remember, you can always support Trigger TV any way you want to, guys. But definitely, yeah, throw them blue hearts in the chat. You guys know what it is. You know what it is. Yeah. Do it like that. And throw them bangs in the chat. You know how to do it, yeah. But you know about to get up out of here. I love you guys. You know that's damn 3 for 3 today. Damn, I'm just trying to go 5 for 5 on a week. I think I'm about to hit my quota now. All right, then. But I'm out of here, you guys. I love you. Peace out, you guys. Listen, remember, be kind to humanity, even when humanity is not kind to you. Okay, I love each and every one of you guys. You guys stay safe out there. I love you, and you guys be safe. Thank you to all my mods joining. Thank you for holding it down. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all the Bush babies and everybody that didn't come out of the bushes. One day you'll come out. But I love you guys. I'm out of here, and I will see you on the next one. Go ahead and get my outro rolling. I'm about to roll about it here. Love you and peace. Make sure you smash that like button and share the video. I'm out.